Do you remember the first time you heard this iconic jingle? For me, it was when I played Sonic 3 and Knuckles on a Sega Genesis back when I was like 4, and it's stuck with me since. While Sega's most iconic IP had a phenomenal year in 2024, they also continued growing their brand through many of their other IPs, and it is the combined successes of these series that make it clear that the year of Shadow was really the year of Sega. Like a Dragon, Persona, Super Monkey Ball, Shin Megami Tensei, all of these are series under the Sega brand that had games that released in 2024, with most setting records within their series, like how Persona 3 Reload was the fastest selling game to reach 1 million copies in the Persona series. Hell, they apparently helped publish Granblue Fantasy Relink, which I've only heard good things about, and that also sold 1 million copies. And as if that wasn't enough, they even made a new IP this year. We'll focus on the JRPGs soon, but first I want to give Sonic his flowers as Sega managed to pull off the successfully timed release of Sonic X Shadow Generations right before the Sonic 3 movie, which I'm shocked they did with no glitches, bugs, or mandatory day one fixes. Seriously, we've come a long way from the company that made Sonic 06 to the company that is churning out multi-million selling games like it's nothing. Now, if I somehow got you to click on this video, hoping I would talk more about the Blue Blur, unfortunately, I'm not the Puerto Rican who can do that for you. But if you're a Sonic fan who somehow hasn't seen Son Call Me Johnny's channel, then he's got tons of great reviews to satiate that hedgehog-shaped hole in your brain that you're looking to fill. So, I highly recommend him. Also, let's celebrate the fact that the Sonic 3 movie was the first movie to sell over $200 million and swept the box office on its release. So I actually need to make an edit here, as in the time it took me to make this video, we actually had Sonic 3 cross $300 million, and collectively as a whole, the entire Sonic trilogy has grossed over $1 billion, which is an absolutely monumental achievement. So yeah, Sonic's year is still going on strong in 2025 as well, claiming that #1 spot from that derivative Lion King slop, which no matter how hard Disney wants to cope and push lies, never had that spot to begin with. To which I say, good. I'll take the flossing hedgehog over whatever the hell this is. Ugh. Next, let's talk about Yakuza, what do people call this series? I know a guy who would do a Kiryu boss finisher on me if I called it Yakuza, but I'm hoping some fans can tell me in the comments if I'll have to chop off a finger if I dead name this series. The studio behind Infinite Wealth, RGG, reported that it sold over 1 million copies fairly early on, as I think it hit that goal in just a few months. Pretty good for the 8th entry in a series. Oh wait, I see what they did there. The infinity symbol is just a sideways 8, and this is the 8th entry in the series.
Clever girl.
Now my issue with the naming of stuff like this is, why are Japanese developers so afraid to number things nowadays? Is it because they think people will be put off by long-standing series and think they have to spend hundreds of hours catching up on the story? Because I guarantee you that's exactly the reason, but this series is one you can genuinely jump into at any point. People know this series is worth experiencing for the insanity alone, and that's why people are so passionate about it. With how effective an entry point Yakuza 0 was when that first released, the series gained renewed vigor as it was an origin story for the now iconic Kiryu Kazuma, who just draws you in with his oblivious rays. Hopefully, the new Majima Pirate game will carry said momentum for the series, as it seems like what was originally planned to be a smaller title ballooned in size and looks like a ton of fun. You guys get so much content now, and it seems to be coming at a steady pace, so I'm genuinely happy to see this series succeed. I own the original 6 games featuring Kiryu on Steam thanks to a series discount, but I think I own 7, I don't remember, I'd have to check, which is the one featuring the new protagonist, and seeing how this marked the pivot away from the beat-em-up combat most know the series for, I feel like I'd enjoy this game since it went turn-based. I don't know, if you think so, make a comment on what a tourist should start with and how I can best experience it. Should I just give Yakuza 0 a fair shot, or would I get along with Ichiban's crazy antics, as I've seen way weirder in other JRPGs? I will now use that as my transition to talk about what I really want to get into for this video. Now, I don't really do the whole review thing much on this channel, but with a lineup as strong as this, yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. I missed the boat in terms of algorithm timing, sure, but now is the point of the video where I think I have enough of you still watching to tell you that this video was not made to focus on the greatest instance of fan intervention saving a film. I'm here to talk about a subsidiary of SEGA. At least I think that's what they are. I don't care enough to get the terminology right, as that alliteration was too good not to use it, so let's talk about Atlus finally. While SEGA and RGG had good years, none had a better one than them. Atlus had an incredible year as they released 4 games, all of which were my kind of game. I'm talking about some good old-fashioned role-playing games. specifically of the Japanese variety. In 2024 alone, Atlus released the highly anticipated Persona 3 Reload, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, their brand new third pillar as they call it in Metaphor ReFantasio, and Unicorn Overlord. Okay, that last one they were more a publisher than anything, but hey, it still has their name on the box. I would call this little pseudo project I'm working on to make videos for each of these games Atlus Month, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get these videos out within a month. Sorry, 100-hour plus JRPGs take a while to beat in case you couldn't tell, and it took me all year to beat 4 of them. Also, I have other things I'll be working on in the meantime, so yeah, this one's gonna take a while. I originally wanted to do full reviews of these games, but I don't think that really does enough to capture my feelings on them, as they all had different outcomes. We have a remake of a game suffering from imposter syndrome, which still doesn't have a definitive best version for some fans. We have a PC port of a game that was stuck on the Switch's lacking hardware that brought in dozens of hours of new content, and finally let these little red people move in more than 3 FPS when you're more than 10 meters away from them. Seriously, look at these poor bastards, it's like they're in a different time zone. Metaphor ReFantasio is a brand new IP, and yeah, there's a lot to say about this one. And then there's Unicorn Overlord. Unicorn Overlord is the game I finished most recently after putting it on the back burner as it released in March of 2024, but holy crap, my Fire Emblem influenced mind was thoroughly stimulated as this game just might be the best strategy game of all time. Now that could just be the recency bias speaking and my Fire Emblem itch really needing to be scratched from a game that actually sticks with the medieval fantasy theme. Look, Mika Palazzo is a fantastic artist, and Engage has been the most fun I've had with an entry since Fire Emblem Fates, specifically Conquest. So yeah, it didn't really have that fantasy feel when some of these character designs look like they should be on a runway. Also, why the fuck are there nukes in my Fire Emblem? I don't care that it's been over 5 years, I'm still not over that. And that's where I'm at now as a channel. I'm still passionate about JRPGs, so we'll see if I can make these videos even if others haven't received them well in the past. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you're a Sonic or a Kiryu fan who stuck through this, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the series now, as I love reading genuine fan interaction, so please, I want to hear your thoughts on what you hope and expect from me to do here, and I hope some of you can get back to hear me gush over why Rosalinda is one of the best characters who was an icon for 2024. Trust me. Elves. Listen, Frieren isn't the only elf who was popular in 2024, alright? Rosalinda, my beloved. I will get to you eventually. Trust. Alright, see you guys next time. Peace.